Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Misha.
Welcome to a special episode of the North Atlanta Real Estate with Jeff Ahi and Misha Rawal. And the reason I say special is because Fulton County is up for a vote. And Jeff, tell us more about it.
Yeah, so there's going to be a vote this coming Tuesday, the 29th, and it's going to be the Fulton County Commissioners are going to be, there's 7 of them. They're going to take a vote to decide whether we increase the millage rate 12, I think it's a little over 12.5%. And so currently there are 3 of the commissioners say no, they don't want it to increase. But unfortunately, there's 4 currently that are on the record saying they do approve of this increase. Now, this 12.5% increase is only going to apply to Fulton County operations budget. So it won't be our whole tax bill going up 12.5%, but it would be about a third of it going up that much. So it is significant.
Do we need an increase in our taxes?
Well, according to this presentation that Bob Ellis, who is the Fulton County Commissioner for District 2, according to the presentation I saw last week, we do not need this increase this year. So he showed that the 2025 budget has already been approved and that current millage rate will cover the full year's budget. He did mention that in future years, we may need to have some other expenditures that aren't going to be included. So we might face some increases in the future, perhaps.
So what is the current millage rate in Fulton County?
Yeah, so the current millage rate now is 8.87 mils, and that would be equivalent to $8 per thousand of your $8.80 per thousand of your assessed value of your home.
In contrast to Forsyth County, which is about 9.03.
Yeah, just over 9, that's correct.
Okay, so our taxes would go up to about 12% more just in operations if this vote gets passed this Tuesday.
That's correct. So that 12% of 8.87 is basically a full percent. So it'll go sort of from 8.87 to like 9.87, 9.9, correct?
Yeah, certain cities in Fulton County also have the city taxes.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what this sort of equates to, if we want to look at a $500,000 home, would basically see a tax increase of maybe $275 because of this proposed millage rate increase.
So what is the interest rate segueing into buying a house because the taxes are part of your monthly outlay?
Yeah, absolutely. So currently your rates are about 6.55% to maybe 6.75%. Kind of just depends on your credit and what type of home you're buying, etc. And the things that are going to affect that, it's been pretty stable lately. But the Federal Reserve is meeting here in just a few days, expected to leave the discount rate flat. That doesn't directly affect our interest rates, but it does create an environment which can make it move. And there is some hope, however, that in the next meeting after that, which will be the middle of September, that they might do a 1/4 point reduction. That's kind of what Wall Street expects right now.
Fantastic. So let's say we do have this millage rate increase happen, but the interest rate goes down. That's kind of
a
wash
yeah.
for a lot of buyers. As part of the special edition episode that we have today, we also found out that for the first time, Metro Atlanta has lost some residents.
Yeah, so I guess for over 30 years, we've had solid growth year after year after year. And Wall Street Journal just had a report that said we had about 1,300 fewer residents in 2024. The midpoint, I guess, is where they did this measurement from, the mid of 23 to mid 24. And so it has actually dropped a bit. And so it's very tough to say exactly, because while that was domestic, folks that live here moved out, we've also had some influx, though, of migrants. And so it's a little unclear whether that's going to put pricing pressure on our housing market yet. But we've also read something that, from CoreLogic that said that Metro Atlanta was forecast maybe one of the second most at-risk cities for price lowering, I guess, across the country.
Which is interesting because Microsoft also pulled out of the Westside campus, saying that they're not developing it anymore. And there were a lot of investors and speculators who bought land, houses in that area who probably are at risk of not being able to get return on investment.
Yeah, definitely. That was a pretty big impact.
Mm-hmm. On the other hand, Toll Brothers is coming up with a townhouse community close to Emery Johns Creek, and there are news of another 1,300 new houses being developed in the Forsyth County.
Yeah, so that's kind of one of the things why we don't get too excited about these studies right away, because there's certain areas that are very strong in our metro area, and maybe other areas that are a little weaker. And so when people are shopping for homes, or if you're a home seller, when you're going to sell, you got to really keep in mind what is going on in that area that you're trying to purchase into or sell from.
Yeah, and in other news, Waymo is here in Atlanta with 40 driverless cars. So you can go to your Uber app and order a car, especially if you're in the Buckhead and surrounding areas, and there's a possibility that a driverless car will show up in front of your door.
Oh, that's crazy. Misha, are you going to get in one of these driverless cars?
I just may. What about you, Jeff?
I'm not convinced yet. I'm going to let you take that first ride. You can tell me how it is.
Sounds good. Well, that was a wrap on our special episode, and I hope you gained some idea of what the Fulton County market is like. And if you have any questions, please reach out to Jeff Ahi or myself, and we'd be happy to answer any questions.
All right. Well, bye for now.
Bye.